Okay, this is our annual class. I used to conduct Module 1, Module 2 once a year. Then in recent years, we found that actually we can make life easier. So we merged 1 and 2. And the first 2 years when we merged them together, we had it for 15 lessons. Then I turned lazy. And also you found that, well, we should try to make things even easier. So for this year, we're going to shorten it to only 10 lessons. Okay, so there will be a big change in the sequence of how we introduce what is in the nature or so-called true self, and how you approach it. There'll be a big change. Or so we say that previously we worked from the management of emotion, blah, 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 and then finally to inner nature. And this year, we try to do it the other way around. So we allow the participants to experience, to perceive the inner nature, then try to convince them the importance of this. I mean, if you perceive that, you will understand that this is truly important. And then from there, work on the management of emotions. And as usual, our practice is all about it's all dynamic practices. That means our exercises, we want you to move. We want you to get healthy through exercises. Okay. How old are you? 60, 50? Now, this is a very common question. In Malaysia or in Mexico or in Europe, you find most of the people who practice Qigong, they are above the age of 50. Yeah. And in Malaysia, you can say that most of the practitioners, they are above 60. Younger people, they don't have any illness, or they don't have any issues, don't have any health issues. So they don't need, or they don't see the need to spend time to practice Qigong or to practice anything to make them what you call healthier. To them, Qigong is something rather boring. You have to close your eyes, you have to stay focused inward, and you got to move slowly. And it takes time. Many people thought that, practice Qigong, that means you spend hours a day, have with your eyes closed, and then you do your practices. Well, that's not true. Yeah, we have to move with time. So the way I look at it is, no, that's not the same. You try to have classes like back in the 1980s and 1990s. You spend 4 or 5 hours minimally a day for practice. I doubt that you can really get sufficient students for long period of time. Yeah. So we have to change the way we approach Qigong practice. Okay. How do you practice? Most people, they practice daily, every day. Many of them, they practice every day. Things like, they start with a lift chia or whatever. They practice every day, routinely. And then many times you see clients who come and see you, and then they say, "Oh, I've been practicing, every day. Even when I'm on holiday, my children and my husband, they are very kind to me. They know it. So I get to spend 90 minutes a day on my own for my practice." So if you were telling me that I don't practice, that's not right, because I have been practicing. Now, but many times you find that these people, particularly those who have serious illnesses, they practice in a very mechanical manner. It is just like, oh, I have to practice, I have to practice. Mechanically, they practice. They don't pay attention to what you are supposed to pick up, or we make it direct. What is the learning outcome? What's the learning outcome of your Qigong practice? Many times, many people overlook this. Some of them, they practice weekly. Yeah. And some of them, they practice many exercises. Some of them, they practice one exercise to another. You know, in Zheneng Qigong, you can be a jack of all trades because there are hundreds of exercises in Zheneng Qigong. Even the major forms, the major exercises, there were more than 20. Yep. Lift Qi up, body mind form, 5-1 form, the 8 Qi cultivation method, many. Yeah. Chant the everything possible practice where you chant, syllables, the what they call the breathing exercise of the 7 gates middle channel exercise. There are many. So you can get distracted very easily. What is your aim? If you want to, let's say you are going to join a college, what do you want to do? What is your aim? What do you want to achieve? You would probably ask yourself. But in Qigong, many times, most people, they don't know what they want. They don't know. With the exception of those who have illnesses. Yep. I've tried this, I've tried that, I've tried Chinese medicine, I've tried modern medicine, and then, now let's see whether this helps. So we have, for healthy people, we have to identify what you want to develop, what you want to achieve. You want to develop extraordinary capability. You want to be able to see through a person, to see inside a person. You want to reach enlightenment, or you want to live healthily, or all of the above. You have to be very clear of what you want to achieve. And if you really want to achieve your aim, you must know how to think critically. Many friends ask me, hey, Mr. Wing, after so many years now, you are still working on these few exercises. For what? Now people going very far, the people doing things like, that everything possible practice, this, that, the 7 gates and all that. Why don't you introduce that? Honestly, I don't find that really helpful to the majority. Yeah. At one time, I remember this Chen Qi, I call it the Qigong strap. You move your, Chen Qi. Some call it Qi stretching exercises. I don't find it useful, particularly for those above the age of 50. Why? We'll explain why. And that's why I said you have to think critically. What is the most important exercise for you? Blind faith is an issue. People attend classes, just follow blindly. You do this. Why should I do this? Most people don't ask. I find it very, very funny. You have medical doctors, you have lecturers and all that who attend classes. They don't ask. They don't. It's very funny. People don't try to find out, why should I do it this way? What is the purpose of doing it this way? No, not in Qigong circle. And that's the reason, that's why I said this is blind faith. You believe blindly. And why? I don't know. People don't try to find out why I say that this is not suitable for you. Try to find out why I say this is good for you. Try to find out why this is good for you. Now, reality for us, people like me above 60, and many of you who are above 50, yeah, you can't deny the fact that your prenatal qi is coming down, right? After birth, prenatal qi will keep dropping. In Chinese medicine, how well you can live, how long you can live, depends on how much do you have, how much prenatal qi you have. So the depletion has been going down. If you want to seriously take care of your health, what should be the major concern then? Have you ever thought of that? What should be the major concern? Where do I store my prenatal qi? Why not? You have to ask, where do I store my prenatal qi? Where? We store it in the lower dantian. Or shall we say that, simply put, the kidney qi. So if you really want to slow down aging, working on your lower dantian is extremely important. Okay? Now, what is our approach? Our approach is simple. Number one, you stop the leak. What do you mean by the leak? That means what is draining your energy? What is draining your kidney qi? You have to stop that leak. Yeah? Identify the weakest link. Many times, I was talking to a friend in Sweden. He said that my wife is having problems. Every time she said, I don't have the time to practice. Why? Because that lift she up, the recording is 45 minutes. It's so long. And I don't know. She said, I don't know. I find that it is very difficult for me to stay focused 45 minutes for that exercise. And it's rather confusing to me. She's a newbie. And she practiced on her own. Now, what is the weakest link? For her case, the weakest link is she finds that this is too confusing. Right? So I told her, very simple. You change the practice. You focus on the most important parts of the exercise or of that particular form. Your weakest link is that you find that, 45 minutes, one stretch is too much. And, there are so many changes in the exercise that I cannot remember. I find it very challenging. So you settle this. You have a health issue you need to handle. You change the way you practice. That's the reason why at my place, we practice we call it the simplified lift cheer up. We focus a lot on push-pull because push-pull is the most important thing. And then many times, many people, you ask them, why are you not practicing? Because you said that this standing pole is important. Standing pole in Zheneng Qigong, there's a special name for standing pole. It's called three centers merge. But we don't use the term three centers merge because the way I want you to stand is not the same as that one, right? So they said, this is damn boring. So the boredom is stopping you from practicing. What can you do? Those who have attended my lessons before, they know. I say, get the help from Godfather. What Godfather? Godfather the movie. Godfather 1, Godfather 2, Godfather 3. You watch Godfather. Or you watch some crazy movies. And then there are jokers who come and say, no, that's not Qigong. Qigong, you have to focus. You have to close your eyes. I said, don't argue with them because the taste of the pudding is in the eating. They have never done it that way. They have never stood there for 90 minutes. Forget about 2 hours. People who talk that way, they don't do. Tell you honestly, for the past more than 10 years, I've been spending minimally 90 minutes a day. And I told my friends, who helped me to pull through? Who? The movies, the cartoons, the music. This is top secret. But many people, they're still shy of doing it that way. Or they do not know how to think critically. What is Qigong? Honestly, 90% of those who practice Qigong do not know what is Qigong. They cannot define what is Qigong. You ask them, they have no idea what is Qigong. Oh, an exercise practice Qi. That's it. But if you look at what is Qigong, you would really understand, okay, half a loaf is always better than nothing. But if you can persist, you can pull through 45 minutes of standing pole. It is more, even when you were watching Godfather, the benefits you get is much more than half a loaf. Try it. I've been saying this for more than 10 years. Huh? I don't know. Very few people want to try this. Very few. Those who tried it will tell you that, this is a secret. Yeah. And get external help scientifically. Why I say get external help scientifically? External help includes things like what? Make sure you eat well. And this is one big problem. And that's the reason why we gave a talk on what to eat 2 weeks ago. Yeah. Like how to prevent inflammation, how to reduce inflammation, what brought inflammation. You got to eat correctly. See? And sometimes, I practice Qigong, never mind. I practice Qigong so I can eat and drink or do anything. I said, that is not scientific. And you have misunderstood Qigong and you have wrong understanding of science. Don't believe me? You just tell me, what is your blood pressure now? Do you know it? What is your blood glucose level now? You know it? Without relying on the blood glucose meter or the blood pressure meter, can you tell? None of the masters, none, nobody, none that I have met can tell me that. Serious. So get external help scientifically. This is important. When you come to science, you have to think carefully, critically. Yeah, our approach, we have to live long and we have to live healthily. Live long is not difficult with modern medical science. Yeah, I mean, tubes all over your body, you probably can go until above 100. But live long and healthily, that's a different issue. Yeah. Now, this is modern science. Lower extremity muscle strength. That means your lower limbs, the strength of your lower limbs. The connection that now modern science, medical science, they discovered that those who have weak lower limbs, they have high mortality rates. That means modern science has discovered the importance of the strength of the lower limbs. But in traditional Chinese medicine, this has been said for thousands of years. The lower limbs are the roots. But what determines the strength of the lower limbs? What? I've been telling my friends in the past 2, 3 years, I said that give modern science another 10 years. They will tell you that, oh, the lower limbs are important. But what determines the health and the strength of the lower limbs is the lumbar, is your lower dantian, is your kidney teeth. If you have a problem with your lower limbs, as a therapeutic massage specialist, yeah, I'm a registered practitioner, therapeutic massage. I can tell you this: 90% of those who have a problem with the knees or the hip joints, they have a bad lumbar. 90%. Yeah. And if you want to settle the issue there, you have to really first settle the lumbar. You settle the lumbar issue, you settle the problems of the lower limbs. Very much easier than just working on that particular joint. Well, mark my word. Give it another 10 years, modern science will discover, oh, it's actually the lumbar. And this one is more than 10 years. This low muscle strength and mortality, the risk factor, this one is more than 10 years. So how strong your muscles, let's say how strong is your grip, that decides how well you are going to live for the next 10 years. So it is related to muscle strength. We'll come to this later on. Our view is very simple. No life, no mind. No body, no mind. Forget about your consciousness. You need the nutrients from the body to support the brain function. And in Qigong practice, we are talking about working to make ourselves healthy, right? So moving from unhealthy state to ordinary state and then to extraordinary state. I know many friends are doing this very popular practice, that everything is possible. You keep chanting this. I'm not against it, right? But I don't teach this. Or I teach it as a dessert. I said, you do it when you feel like doing it, but it should not be your core practice. Your core practice should be working on your body. Yeah. And this afternoon, there's one friend who wrote me and complained. They said, "Hey, yeah, this said it's not true. The master said that the mind can do anything. The mind can do anything? Are you serious?" Now, that's what I said. Critical thinking is absent. Critical thinking is not found in Qigong world. This is a sad thing. The mind can do anything. You seriously think about it. Yeah. During the last class, I told them that if I were to hold a feather on my palm, I close my eyes, I focus to move the feather 1 millimeter closer to me or further away. You try to do that and see, so bloody difficult. But if I were to pick it up, I can move it by meter easily. Think carefully of what I said is. I'm not saying that your mind cannot do anything. But if you say that the mind is everything, in practice, so I just practice my mind, that will do. Sorry, you're very wrong. I'll tell you some story later on. And there are some friends who said, oh, you can use your mind to loosen your lumbar. I've yet to see anyone who can do this. I have one video on YouTube showing this. Okay. I've yet to witness anyone who practice using their mind to move their lumbar in the what called the navel and the Mingmen in opposite direction on breathing in and out. Where do we store kidney qi? We said that prenatal qi is important. Where do we store it? Well, it's lower dantian. Where is the lower dantian? Or what decides the size of the lower dantian? It is your lumbar. Your lumbar or the health of your lumbar would decide how much energy or how much qi is stored in your lower dantian. Now, in TCM, there are many school of thoughts. This is one school of thoughts that we call it the Earth School. Yeah, Earth means the pancreatic system or the digestive system. They will say that the whole internal organ system is like a steamer. The kidney is a stove. The pancreas is the wok. The lung is the steamer cover. The liver is the blower. And the heart is the chef. So when your prenatal qi is low, it's like no gas. When you have no gas, how to cook? Everything would just slow down when you don't have sufficient kidney qi. And like what we said earlier, we have gone well past 40. Sorry, our stove, our kidney qi, the energy is getting lower and lower. So where should we pay our attention to? What should be our core practice? In our practice, we call it divide and fix. Why divide? Because most people are busy. I'm not asking you to practice like me because this is my job. I'm a professional Qigong teacher. I make a living on Qigong. Definitely, I have to do well. I have to practice every day. So let's say I say that, okay, from now on, you have to spend 90 minutes a day. That's unfair. Because modern people, most people, they are very busy. So we divide. Divide what? Few minutes here, few minutes there. We have exercises where you only spend maybe 2 minutes here, 2 minutes there. And you see the results. The last year, there was this guy from where? From Singapore, from I think I can't remember where. He said that I've been practicing for 6 years. But now, after this course, I realized that I was in a, he said, I cannot say that was wrong, but I was in a very inefficient direction. And now, within days, I found big changes to my body. Why? You have to divide. Because we do not want you, modern life is so challenging. And now we say that you have to do it this way, huh? You have to do it that way. And then you have to force yourself to find out one whole stretch of 90 minutes for your practice. That's going to be very challenging. But if you divide them, you just few minutes here, few minutes there. It's different. And we use weights. Many times, many friends, when I first introduced my classes on using weights, that's more than 5 years, I think. They said that, Mr. Lee, no lah, Qigong, we play with Qi, we don't play with weights. Sorry, because you're an outsider. All those serious martial art based Qigong, they use weights. But they only teach you how to use weights if you are inside. Inside what? That means you may be the flag bearer eventually. Not all will be given the chance to become a flag bearer. That means after the grandmaster die, okay, you are going to be the next one. There'll be maybe 6 or 7 of them. They have a chance to take over. These people, only these they learn the real stuff. And I have actually a short video on a Chinese Bilibili where this Tai Chi master, 82-year-old Tai Chi master, using a Tai Chi ball like this one on the screen that weighs how much? 10 kilos. 10-kilo Tai Chi ball. And you say that we don't use weights. You use weights, then you see the difference. You use weights for our practices, you see the difference clearly. And why different weights? Because you're going to progress. And, modern science already found out that the best exercise for you to build muscles are what? Are not jogging, definitely. It is resistance exercises, means weights or the kind of elastic band stretches. Okay? Now, many times they ask me, why are we not practicing body mind form, 5-1 form, everything is possible, Chen Qi and other exercises? Well, because I find that most people do not have the time. Sometimes they ask me, okay, other than the spirals and the swing, where you move the whole body, what can I do? I actually ask them to do the 8 brocade. Why? Number one, in that exercise, you only spend 12 minutes. Number two, you're going to make use of your breathing in exercise. And that makes it much more efficient. Number three, straightforward. You can learn it from YouTube. You don't have to come and see me. Now, innate nature. So our approach to realizing or recognizing or perceiving the innate nature of true self is true dynamic practice. Innate nature, how are you going to discover that or aware of that? Or how do we describe that state? It is the state whereby the mind is focusing on itself, or the mind realizing itself. I know this is the mind. The awareness, aware of itself. Daily activities, our attention is outside. But when you reach that state of enlightenment, your mind is focusing onto itself. You realize it. And this is also the ultimate of the management of emotions. And that's the reason why we try to reverse the whole thing. Yeah. And are we practicing conductions of experiments to recognize true self or second mode of life? No, we are not taking that approach. Our approach to innate nature is based on the teachings of Guo Yunsen. I call him the sage of martial arts, and the revolutionary practice of Zen doubting. Now, the main approach is based on these two forms of teachings. Okay? Our practices, we do Mingmen breathing, we do SLS, straight leg sitting, chi squat, spirals, vertical swings, tricks about push-pull, standing pole, or PMT. PMT means, piano in the air is PMT. Yeah, throat breathing, mudra massage. We do all this. Yeah, but breaking them up. Then we tell you what to do. Now, some questions, some friends ask, can you explain this, when you are giving a talk on this? Some very sensitive questions. I see that many Qigong masters are aging rapidly. Many super healers die young. Very true. Yeah, die young in their early 70s. In their early 70s, I'm not talking about those die in the 1970s. Yeah. Aren't they supposed to stay younger than others if they practice well? I think this is a reflection of what I call blind faith. Doctors, right? Many of them, they don't walk their lives. I have many friends who are medical doctors. I know them very well. They are my classmates. Many of them, if not most of them, they don't walk their talk. They tell you not to smoke, not to drink, but you know the answer. So why? When the doctors are doing that, you have no complaint. But when the Qigong teachers is not walking the talk, then you are complaining. What is behind this? Because you are not thinking sufficiently well. Critical thinking is missing. Yeah, we'll come back to this slightly later. Or is that not an aim or effect of Qigong? I will explain to you. Yeah, actually, too hard to walk the talk? I don't know. You have to ask the teacher. You have to ask the master. Take a look at this. So if you doubt Qigong is not really that good because all these masters they age faster than me. If you have that doubt, you'll take a look at this. Both of them, they are famous Hong Kong actors. Both of them was 70 last year. Yeah, 70-year-old. The one on your left, Donald Chow, he's a marathoner. He still runs marathon. The other one on your left is Ray Lui. He is a Qigong practitioner. The one, Donald still runs marathon at the age of 70. But this guy, Ray, he practiced Qigong since the age of 29. And last year, he published his medical report. The doctor found that his heart vessels and all that completely clean. It's like a man of 35, 36-year-old. And he walks his talk. He practices every day. Both of them are kind people. They donate plenty of money to build schools in remote areas in China and all that. Yeah, like this Ray and Donald, he said that we are rich enough. Why worry about money? We don't have to worry about money. And then we don't fancy those, there's posh restaurants or whatever. Oh, both of them eat very simple diet. Both of them do plenty of charitable work. One, plenty of marathon and exercises. One is qigong every day. You can tell the difference. So, of course, the way that he practiced qigong is not. It's not something like that we see in normal days because he also using weights. Ray, his practice is using weights. Yeah. So you can't say that why qigong or that is not an aim or effect of qigong. No, not true. The real reason is because most people they don't walk their talk. Okay. Now, you have any question about the course? Join us. Yeah, write to me. And then if you're interested in the course, okay. You have any question? Exercise classes. What do you mean by exercise? It will be something like we have talk and then we have exercises throughout the whole the class. Still Tuesdays and Thursday, yes. Guo Yunsen died young. I'm not sure whether he died young or he died old. One of the reasons he died, some said he died at the age of 72, or some said, some records said that he died at the age of 80. But I believe it's because he spent some years in the jail. And it was during the time when he was in the jail, he reached a very high level of martial strength. You know, they call him the guy that half a fist can rule the world. So when he was in the jail, he has the shackles and all that, 20 kilos of shackles on his body, and he was practicing with that. So I believe he overworked his body. Prepare weights as well. Yes, of course. The sandbags, this one. You can start with 0.5 kilo or 1 kilo and then move up. The maximum you can get in Malaysia is 3 kilo on each side. About the practicing of using the mind, if you're interested, you look up the Taoist practices in China. You can actually demarcate and separate them into two. One, the northern one, the southern one. The northern one, they have plenty of, shall we say, extraordinary capabilities. They talk about, oh, okay, I have to see what is happening now to my friend in Sweden. Okay, I send my spirits out. Go there, take a look, visit, and then come back. In Chinese, it is called Fu Yang Shen. Okay, so these the founder like Wang Chongyang, Huang Yuanji, they all died young, 54, 51. And there was this guy who said, oh, when my alchemy is ready, I live longer than the sky. Yeah, he said that, but he died at the age of 61. Some said 51. I'm not sure. All right, but even 61 is short. And then they have the southern one. The southern one's different. Everything is practice. A very interesting one was a guy who died 2 years ago at the age of 104. He is doing his 八部金刚, 8 steps of, how to put it, 8 steps of diamond exercise every day. Yep. He started following the northern one. You know, the northern ones, they focus a lot on, okay, you focus on the palaces inside, you know, the brain, how many 9 palaces you focus here and all that. They develop extraordinary capabilities very well. You know, like I said, you know, and they believe that at the end they're going to fly up to the sky, but there's no scientific evidence anywhere that's saying that any of them flew up to the sky. No. And then the guy who died at the age of 104 or 102, he started with the northern one. And somehow he was still the flag bearer of that form. But somehow halfway, he picked up the martial form. To me, I think he was an extraordinary guy because he broke the record. All his previous grandmasters, they all died young, because he still belongs to the northern sect or school. All died very young. Huang Yanji, all those, they died very young, 51, 54. So that's the reason why sometimes you Google, will Qigong, is Qigong good for longevity? And the answer is no. When you trace back the history, you look at all these fellas, then you say, oh, no. Okay, now, well, our approach is to work on the body and work on the mind in a separate manner. All right. I think we end here today. If you have any question, you can always write to me and join us. Yep, if you're interested. Thank you. and bye bye.